I don't want to speak too much about judicial redress in Sami's case. Much of what I know you already know too. We are living in a time when it feels as if we've stepped through the looking glass, a constitutional crisis unfolding in real time, due process eroding, and the rule of law being chipped away by executive order, policy, and memo. Sweeping decisions now represent a radical departure from years of established practice and precedent. Similarly, I won't speak at length about Sami's legal case. There is no daylight between what you know and what I know. Sami is a 35-year-old Brit with a loving family, who is a globally renowned journalist and political commentator. Last night, Sami made a public appearance where he said something quintessentially American, that Americans don't have an aversion to truth. They are willing to see things with an open mind. Now, which of us, as the Americans he spoke of, are willing to see things with an open mind? And which of us are behind the overzealous and unjustifiable push to have him put in an ICE detention center? After his appearance, Sami stopped to do yet another very American thing, have late-night pancakes at an IHOP with some friends. Just a half day later, he was detained by ICE while catching a domestic flight from California to Florida. Of note, Sami himself had noted that figures such as Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Representative MTG, like him, had criticized the U.S. for bowing to Israel in both its foreign and domestic policies. Is this why Sami was detained? For holding a viewpoint that is shared by Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and MTG? Sami's father wrote, "Anyone who truly wants to understand Sami Hamdi and how he thinks should start with Sami's own words. Humanity can easily discern right and wrong. Racism, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, genocide, and war crimes need no explanation or definition for humanity to recognize them and stand firmly against them. I believe in humanity and the natural good that exists in human beings." Is this the free speech we wish to punish? As journalist Klaus Mahr wrote, "We gotta be honest. Trying to dictate to Americans what they can and can't say and threatening them with consequences if they don't comply sounds like some real fascist level stuff. This is especially true when the very people being silenced are the ones pointing out what's happening in this country shouldn't be happening. Sometimes those people are not Americans, but are visitors. We've sent a chilling message to our children, our students, and to visitors on our soil. Shut up. You are not allowed to join the rising chorus of voices for a national conscience. Stop thinking, stop exploring, stop expressing. Oh wait, you weren't born here? Then you had better think twice, thrice, and extra hard before speaking out. The right to free speech apparently doesn't apply to you because we can do magical contortions and mental gymnastics with the law. The playbook is clear. The government is conflating broken immigration laws with the right to free speech. How many more abductions before we recognize the clear pattern? There is a lot to unpack here. We've slaughtered Native Americans, enslaved and lynched African Americans, excluded Chinese immigrants, and put Japanese Americans in internment camps. Where does the crescendo of fear-mongering and hate lead us next? As a Muslim American, I ask myself, are we next? I think of the fact that the American government has authorized and delivered the very bombs that fell on Gaza, 2,000-pound bombs. And I ask whether morally it's now our turn to bear consequence for not doing enough to stop the war and not having gotten food and medicine to innocent children in Palestine. As another famous Brit, Nick Clegg, once said, if you're accustomed to privilege, equality feels like oppression. The flaky rhetoric behind this violently un-American conduct has built to a clear constitutional crisis. As a Muslim American, and I emphasize American here to signify U.S. citizenship in this context, I feel the emotional barbed wire enclosing us. America has been on the wrong side of history a few times, and it has always been when there is a crisis of conscience. History teaches us that conscience is rarely convenient. Muhammad Ali stood against the Vietnam War and was condemned, stripped of his title before the world came to see the justice of his stand. Fred Korematsu defied Japanese-American internment and was branded a traitor, then honored as a hero. Rosa Parks, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and the Freedom Riders were jailed and beaten for challenging segregation. Yet their courage transformed this nation. Abolitionists, once dismissed as radicals, paved the way for freedom, just as those who opposed apartheid and dictatorships abroad were voices crying in the wilderness before they became the conscience of history. Over and over again, the lesson is the same. Those willing to risk comfort, reputation, and even freedom are the ones who bend the arc toward justice. We hope and pray that if we remain steadfast, history will place us alongside those who chose conscience when it mattered most. One day, everyone will claim to have always been against this. One day, there will be a reckoning, and those on the wrong side of history will be held accountable. They tried to bury us, but they forgot we were seeds. First, they came for the socialists, then they came for the trade unionists, then they came for the Jews. Are we next? And is anyone left to speak for us? Those who speak for Sami now are the better angels of our nature, the ones I am eternally searching for. I am proud to stand with CARE and attorney Hassan Ahmad to fight for Sami. If you choose to be a better angel too, please do your part. Speak for Sami with the courage, conviction, and conscience that he has always spoken with for others. One thing is certain, the time for whispers is over. But if we speak out, do we risk liberty? Perhaps. Then again, what is agency if not to do what Sami did and would have done for us?